Imagine this. You're standing at a crossroads in the middle of an economic storm. Inflation is eroding your savings, markets swing like a pendulum, and governments are desperate, grasping for taxes while giving you less in return. You've heard the solutions, and maybe you've even bought into some of them. Gold, Bitcoin, go off the grid, trust in the system, and hope it doesn't crumble. Now take a step back. Think about it. What if all of these escape plans, these so-called solutions, are just dressed up dead ends? Gold, hoarded by a few who will price you out of the market. Bitcoin, fluctuating wildly, making you rich one day and broke the next. Or trying to live off the land sounds nice until you realize you can't homestead your way into the future. And let's not forget governments. They're already running on fumes. And yet, some still believe they can tax and spend their way out of the mess they helped create. Here's the uncomfortable truth. All these ideas are flawed because they're built on systems that haven't kept up with the world we live in now. The world of AI, automation, financial complexity, and governments scrambling to stay relevant. But what if there was a real way out? Not just an escape hatch, but a doorway to something better. A system that isn't just about surviving the collapse, but thriving in the future. This is where moral money comes in. And at its core, Buildcoin. Buildcoin isn't just another coin to toss in the digital fountain. It's a new kind of money. One that's backed by real tangible assets like property and land, the very things that grow in value as everything else falls apart. It's designed for resilience, fairness, and actual growth, unlike those speculative assets that leave you at the mercy of the markets. But before we dive into why Buildcoin is the future of sound money, let's take a moment to understand the mindsets that brought us here to this financial chaos. Let's break it down by the different escape routes people are running toward, each with its own logic, its own pitfalls, and its own reason for failing. For the gold bugs, you believe in the stability of gold, and fair enough, it's been around for thousands of years. But here's the catch. What happens when most of the gold is locked up by the few, leaving you with nothing but a shiny fantasy? Or worse, what if governments start taxing it, regulating it, or simply making it illegal to hold without their say-so? Gold sounds secure until you realize that in a digital global world, it's not very practical for everyday use. And when trade can't happen because people don't have enough gold or the price is beyond reach, what then? Buildcoin offers the same kind of stability, but it's better. It's backed by appreciating assets like land and property, things that have real functional value. You don't need to hoard it because it grows with the economy. It's tradable, liquid, and no one can just seize it or manipulate the market. Your wealth is protected, but it's also part of a growing system that works for everyone, not just the hoarders. For the Bitcoin maximalists, you think Bitcoin is the answer. Digital gold, decentralized, immune to inflation. But let's get real. Bitcoin's volatility is a roller coaster that you can't get off. One day you're a millionaire, the next day you're watching it crash. And what about when the last Bitcoin is mined? Does scarcity help, or does it just create inequality and deflation? Is it really a system that can sustain an economy, or is it just a speculative bubble? Buildcoin keeps the decentralized ethos but solves Bitcoin's biggest problems, stability and growth. It's tied to real-world assets, which means it has a stable value, not a speculative one. You get the same decentralized freedom, but with real backing, so you're not living at the mercy of market whales or hype cycles. For the homesteaders and off-the-gridders, you're thinking, I'll just disconnect, live off the land, grow my own food, be self-sufficient. That sounds great, but let's face it, how long can you really go without the broader economy? You might be able to grow your food, but what about healthcare? What about education for your kids or infrastructure when you need it? Self-sufficiency is great, but eventually you'll hit a wall where you need the rest of society. Buildcoin doesn't just let you participate in society, it lets you thrive. It offers you a stake in productive assets, without debt, without centralized control. You can invest in housing, infrastructure, the things that actually make life better while staying true to your ideals. You get the freedom of self-sufficiency with the benefits of a system designed to help you grow. For the anarchists and barter enthusiasts, you want to escape the clutches of governments and corporations. Barter and free trade sound ideal, right? No interference, no control. But what happens when things go wrong? When someone breaks a deal or disputes arise? How do you scale this system beyond small, tight-knit communities? Barter doesn't scale, and pure anarchy, while liberating in theory, is chaotic in practice. Buildcoin offers a way out of this mess, too. It's built on decentralized governance, so no one's controlling your trade and everything is done peer-to-peer. Automated smart contracts handle disputes, and the system itself ensures fairness. You get the freedom you crave, but with the structure needed to scale beyond local trade. For the government trusters and fiat advocates, you believe in taxes, public infrastructure, and that governments should handle the economy. But let's be honest, governments are running out of road. Automation, AI, and capital flight are making it harder for governments to sustain themselves. So what happens when the tax base shrinks and debt piles up? Will the current system be able to support the future? Buildcoin offers a solution that aligns private wealth creation with public good. It funds real-world infrastructure like housing and transportation without the need for heavy-handed taxes. Instead of relying on bureaucracies that are increasingly inefficient, Buildcoin's decentralized model lets communities govern their own resources fairly, transparently, and effectively. Here's the bottom line. The world is changing, and the old systems aren't built to survive the future. Gold is a relic, Bitcoin is a gamble, governments are sinking ships, and self-sufficiency is a lonely road. But moral money, powered by Buildcoin, offers a real solution, a way to protect your wealth while building something better. It's backed by real appreciating assets like land and property. It's decentralized, fair, and transparent. It eliminates inefficiencies, no soft costs like taxes, agent fees, or interest. It dynamically controls inflation for stability without sacrificing growth. And it's ethical by design, ensuring that wealth is created fairly and sustainably. So here's the question. Are you going to keep chasing dead ends? Or are you ready to be part of a new economic system that actually works for you and for the future? The choice is yours. Let's build the future of sound money together.